Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Reverend Tiny, the 3D podcast. Tonight we're going to talk about the High Priestess, 50 years in hip hop, the crack epidemic, and the trauma left behind. But we're going to talk about the High Priestess as the archetype and what that looks like in this segment. The ads, please.
All right, welcome back. This is episode 4, and we are here today with Reverend Tiny, recovery life coach. If and when you feel the spirit leads, go ahead and look at our description below to come book your appointment.
You
At
froze.
$50. At $50 for that session. Or you can book for an hour, $100 per session. Recovery life coach. It's not just a one-time ordeal. It's a way of life. We give thanks for the opportunity to be here again with Reverend Tiny.
That sounds like
Recovery life coach, spiritualist.
when I hear Tiny, it's always taking me aback where I was a child and that's my nickname. But it's definitely a name that I love and I treasure because it got me through, right? That's my egoic structure, um, showing up, being present, but being that child and still loving God. Like Tiny loves God. And having reverend in front of it is like, wow, I did that. I overcame so much. Overcome. We overcome someday, right? And that's what it really was, from being the fool to the magician, working the magic and stepping into the high priestess, Reverend Tiny, right? And the high priestess, and this is the African tarot deck that I use a lot. This She embodies overcoming. She transmutates bullshit. She knows how to navigate, work with her energy, stand in her power. And that gives her real authority because she is all knowing, intuition, the crown, the sun is lit up behind her. And that speaks to the spirit. It's just she walks with spirit. Overcoming obstacles. When I think about how I have overcome in my fool's journey during that 50 years of hip hop, it saved me. I overcame the casualties of war, or me being placed in situations where debauchery came first. You know, how low can you go? It wasn't how high you can get, it was how low can you go. And not submitting to that lifestyle, not giving in, always knowing that I was better than the bullshit that was brought to me, better than the games that had to be played to survive, so I thought. But I relied on my God power. I relied on my spiritual system. When it got too much, I retreated.
Mm-hmm.
I really thank God. I thank spirit, ancestors, and my guides for allowing me to have a moral compass. It's like I've said before, there's just things that I would not do. I'm not doing it. And that's how you just begin to walk in grace. With the high priest in this card, it's a scroll, and I like this, to the ancients, these ancient texts that give us wisdom. And it's a learning system. And time reveals all. This crescent moon right here, a season and a reason. And in this one, she has a wand. I don't know if you can see it really well, but
Mm-hmm.
it's wielding that power. And then her heart chakra is lit up with a little star. And it's the same thing, across on this one. In body and spirit, both the crowns are lit up. That's another sign of intuition and being led by spirit. And when you walk by spirit, it's just an easier path. And when you know, and when you could do better, you do better. And I like to say, with just walking in body and act, the spirit and engaging is transformative, and you don't have to suffer alone. It's a lot to be said when overcoming any kind of difficulties, grief from losing a loved one. I've been there so many times. Struggling, the fights that we go through with the system, struggling with our own emotions and having the cloak pulled over our eyes, the injustices, the injustices. I'm thinking, and I'm just so grateful that I survived of being a casualty in war, that epidemic that was placed upon the people. It was planned, and many of us didn't make it.
mm,
Many of us today, we light the white candle and incense, and we pour a little liquor out for the homies. That's a way of venerating them,
mm,
honoring them, that struggle. It's tough. It's tough because of the conditioning. And it's not that we can really say woulda, shoulda, coulda, and had I, and if I known better. It's meeting yourself where you're at, meeting that shadow person and really elevating your life and doing whatever it takes. And no one is perfect. I wish I was perfect. Like, if I was perfect, my life would look like this.
mm,
And it's not really about perfectionism. It's not about that. It's about just being led by spirit, allowing
mm,
things to flow, going with the ebb and flow. When life shows up, don't show out.
mm,
Just continue to persevere in prayer.
mm,
You know, endure tribulation, rejoice in the hope, persevere in prayer. That's a scripture, Romans 12:12. And my grandmother taught me that. And she was like, Tiny, God will make a way out of no way.
mm,
Don't worry about it. And I thank her. I thank her spirit that has transitioned. That those little quotes always spoke to me in the back of my mind when I was doing too much.
mm,
And it was like, oh no, not you, go home,
mm,
go home. So I'm so grateful.
mm.
Yeah, the high priestess, overcoming difficulties, knowing, using the intuition, just being led. And when it spirit speaks, listen, being
Mm,
open to listening. Definitely.
mhm. You named something earlier this week that I want to bring in. You said from Marvin Gaye to what?
NWA.
What's that about?
It's about how we transition from loving our high priestess, our divine feminine, and to now it ain't no fun till your homies have some.
Mm,
Niggas ain't shit with hoes and all of that.
mhm,
And I question myself because I lived that. I'm 50 years old. I was very much a part of that. And still, I tell you, I love rap music. I love E40, Ice Cube, Big Bun. Um, I could keep going on. RBL, Mac Ball, give it up for Sag, Keep the Sneak. All, I was listening to him this morning. Sav, I had to even call out my son, right? Nino No Nice. Like we go on and on about the underground because Looney Curleone, like Sibo. These is people that I grew up with. These are people in the hood, and being a part of that rich culture that we have. I lived it, I learned from it, and I am it. I'm not What I'm saying is that where we came from, where I came from, is very part of my life, and I'll never forget it. But moving forward and elevating with it, because if it wasn't for the street game that I had, I wouldn't have survived.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
cannot navigate in the streets with having a moral code and then having some kind of spirituality. And whoever that God is, the God of money, the God of gangs, the God of war, the God of dope, it's all a game. But your best game better
Mm.
be played by the hand of God, and that's what saved me. So yes,
Mm.
Marvin Gaye, he's dead. He got shot. His father shot him, or he shot his son. I can't even remember the story. But look at that, to our men are being shot and killed in the streets.
Casualties of
Was
war,
that the
right?
catalyst?
Mm.
Is that okay?
Mm.
Are we promoting this?
Mm.
How do we unplug from this bullshit? And how do we
Mm.
uplift our men and women, our little girls and our little boys? And yes, we do need soldiers, because somebody got to fight, but it got to be a fight worth fighting.
Mm.
When
Mm.
we drilling and we training our soldiers, our young bloods that's coming up, what are we putting into their head? Are we still being respectful? Because we need warriors. That's how the villages run. That's how the
Mm.
tribes are run. We need our men, but we need strong black men, not these bitches that's out here.
Mm.
And I'm sorry, I might be getting a little derogatory, but I'm passionate about the elevation of our black men, because I love my black men still. With all of the things that happened to me in life, I give my props to any nigga that's doing something. That's right. And I ain't talking about
Mm.
calling in the name of Jesus. I ain't talking, man, if you cooking French fries and you got salt on them and you fix me that, I'm giving it up to you, shout out.
Mm.
Because sometimes it ain't about all of what you got and all in what you doing and you calling on Jesus and you calling on that. It's just being true to yourself and being respectful and doing a good job and then doing a good deed and watching out for somebody else. That's game.
Mm. Mm. This movement from just being misguided by the casualties of war, being used by war, right? To put a cloak over our eyes about who we are, right?
Definitely.
Spirituality is what you're saying. Stepping into that helps us to pull this cloak back.
And it's a rebirth.
Yeah. How can the high priestess help us all? Just
Hmm.
as it helped you.
Definitely.
How can
Definitely.
it, yeah. How can it remove that cloak? It's something that we have to think about, something we have to ponder.
And if we got to go back in the scrolls of time, there's information in there that is needed. And I'm not a Bible thumper, but what I am is a thumper of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Willie showed up? Did you call somebody in? Mm. Greetings.
Hey, hey, good people. How y'all doing?
Hi, how are you? Is
Hanging in
this,
there.
is this your first time?
Mm-mm. I
Who,
jumped on.
who is this?
Oh, sorry. This KP.
Oh, okay, KP. We're doing the meditation at 7 p. Oh, well, no, what time? 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We're doing the podcast right now.
Oops, my bad. Okay.
No, you're welcome to stay
Bye.
on now, just to let you know that we're not doing meditation. And so Elle can inform you what we're doing. And if you have something to give, please tell the people, your thoughts, ideas, or get it off your chest. Go ahead, give her the topic and the lowdown.
Yeah, we're live. So it might have been divine timing that you come here. We're heading into our second segment. Um, in about 3 hours. You got time to come back if you need to. But the topic for today is the high priestess. We're talking about just making our way through these casualties of war and how we utilize our spiritual understanding of the High Priestess to teach us the lessons necessary for us to move back into a place of unveiling and decloaking and the debauchery that has been pulled over our eyes and that we've allowed to pull over our eyes. Do you have any thoughts? Feel free. As we head into our second segment, definitely want to make sure that, definitely want to make sure to plug in Black Jewel Tarot reading. If you are interested in getting your book, your reading done, go ahead and take a look at the link in the bio and book your appointment. We have 30-minute sessions that are running at $34 and $54, and 1-hour sessions at $108. Go ahead and book your appointment today. Schedule something with our Calendly, link in the bio, or send us an email at blackjewel555@gmail.com. All right, so we're headed into our second segment, and we're talking about the element of the course that you want to bring in today.
KP, do you want to speak first? Do you have any thoughts?
I want to say congratulations to you both. It is a blessing and an honor to see you guys outside of Come Sunday, but also just thriving and doing what I got to do for the collective on a day like this, being the 8th, and while everybody's out looking at the sky, I'm just happy that y'all have a safe place to be, to meditate, to give to the collective, to join with community, and just stand your ground. Y'all are standing on business.
Thank you.
But I appreciate y'all. I'm also plugged that I'm Ancestral Whisper, and I do have the air purifiers. You can find it on my link as well. I look forward to the meditation. I'm gonna go back, head to my altar, and do some works as well.
All right. We'll make sure to plug your information in the bio, so when you all get an opportunity, go ahead and take a look at Ancestral Whispers, and we'll have the information in the bio for y'all to look at.
Perfect. All right. Thank you.
So much.
See you soon.
So yeah, the High Priestess, 50 years of hip hop, the crack epidemic, the trauma left behind. That's a whole kit and caboodle right there. That is so layered. We have so much to continue discussing, my gang. We have so much to talk about and peeling away these layers that have been just placed on us. And I like to use the term a hot fur pink coat and wearing a fur pink coat in summertime. This is how layered this system is. And we gotta take these layers off. We gotta peel back that onion, take the cloak off our eyes, and allow spirit to just be embodied with us and change. And it's slow, but like the river, just go with the flow, right? And so today's spiritual practice that um, I would like to introduce is focusing on the crown chakra through the eyes. So notice I didn't say third eye because I'm not trying to open you up and have you, it's not about that. It's about acknowledgement, acknowledging spirit. And that's what I would like to focus on. So with our hands placed, our palms placed in our laps, face up to the sky, gently raise, get comfortable. Raise your head up and just close your eyes. And at the sound of 3, the count of 3, you'll hear a chime and just embody spirit. Whatever thoughts come up, see them, feel them, and let them go. So 1, 2, 3. And just breathe deep. And find that spot in the middle of your crown, between your ears. Breathe in through your nostrils. Focus in. And whatever you see and comes up, acknowledge it, but just breathe through it. And we'll just do these deep breathings of acknowledgement of the crown in a quiet set of the mind and just being still. Your chest should rise, the diaphragm full of air. Inviting these breaths in and your exhalation through your mouth, inhalation through the nose, and it should be just smooth. And remember, we're not holding the breath, we're just deep breathing in a relaxed state, focusing on the crown, allowing space to be there, openness. Embodying spirit. Continue to just breathe. I need water. Water gives me life. Palms up. Now we're going to clear the negative energy by just taking our hands and waving it away. Imagine that all the angst of life are just floating away off of our crown. Just floating away. Breathe in. Continue to breathe. You can say, letting go. Gentle, like the river, it flows away. The troubles flow away. Healing energy comes my way easily. We take the right hand and we go down the left and we sweep it away out of our system. We take the left, we sweep our heart down to our side and off to the right, and we sweep it away. We call in that new energy. We give thanks, and we say, We place our hands back in our lap. We give thanks 3 times. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. And this will conclude 3D'S 50 years of hip hop, the trauma left behind, and the high priestess.
Mm,
I
thank you,
honor.
Reverend. Plug our meditation. You know, we had somebody here earlier. They're
Yay.
excited. They're ready.
They ready, they ready.
Let us know. S.O.S. Lifeline meditation. What's that S.O.S. stand for?
Solutions for the soul. You know, give it
Hey,
up.
come on. Y'all come on through. We got ample amount of space. We got ample amount of spiritualists. We got ample amount of wonderful beings in our Sangha. We are here every Monday, every Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you remember Pacific Standard Time. You're welcome to join. In the link in the bio will be the meeting ID and the password. Make your way over. We're more than willing to welcome you into the space. And we give thanks in advance for you joining us.
Reverend Tiny and Miss L, we out.